We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. And off we go from Denver. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Gibson. He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28. Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's a second down and 9. Now they'll audible to something else. Looking to throw McCarthy. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Now here's a throw out wide. Oh, this might be a double pass. And that'll be incomplete. Now dipping into the bag of tricks there, but it does not work out, and it's fourth down now.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And the Broncos take over. First down and 10.
First carry now for Jaleel McLaughlin. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain. Second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
In motion, the tight end.
And with a play clock about to expire, Mike McCarthy's going to take a timeout.
They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Here's a 2nd and 8. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. Nix to the air. That's caught. It's Marvin Mims. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
One down, only about 500 more to go this season. He would certainly welcome most of his passes this year going as well as that. Now that the first one is over, time to settle into a groove and begin the long journey towards Week 18 and hopefully the playoffs.
And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed? Able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss.
Here's Nix.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
On the handoff, McLaughlin.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
From the 44-yard line, here's a 2nd and 8. Throwing, Nix. Open man is Jalen Nailor.
And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 18. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
A first red zone opportunity the new year here as they come up now 1st and 10. The give is to McLaughlin.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line.
Milton Williams there on the tackle.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
That one complete to Nailor.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown.
Jalen Nailor
from 13 yards out.
And the Broncos are on the board here first in the season opener.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And he's 1 for 1 on the new year as his kick is good. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They went 3 and out on their first drive of the new season. Not an ideal beginning as they start drive number 2, 1st and 10. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. From the 38 now, here's 2nd and 2. Gibson again.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44.
Throwing is McCarthy. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Now McCarthy. Over the middle and complete to Addison.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 42-yard line.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. A give up the middle to Gibson.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. Addison hauls it in.
And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 21. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Now, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
They'll set up the screen for Gibson.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
They'll run with Gibson.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And this is going to be intercepted.
And the Broncos are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
That's into the hands of McLaughlin.
And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
And they were backed up to start the drive, but not anymore. Now, that's the play call that the offensive coordinator had in his head. You saw the end result. He wanted to go ahead and push the ball downfield, and that's what they did. And they wound up with good yardage there to get things rolling.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Last play, they went over 20 yards. This time, they topped 30.
And worth pointing out, after that last completion, that puts this young quarterback over 10,000 yards passing for his career. And fair to say, he's not done yet.
No doubt about it. He's really just getting started because he's not quite into the prime of his career. So it's likely he's going to hit a few more of these milestones as this career progresses. So let's face it, we'll acknowledge this number, and we'll celebrate the milestones down the road.
On the ground, here's McLaughlin.
Now the ball comes loose.
And this ball recovered by the offense. But remember, they cannot advance it here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So this will be blown dead. And it'll come back to the spot of the fumble. And the Broncos are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as good running gets them down to about the 4-yard line.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half.
To throw is Nix.
Touchdown, Broncos! From 4 yards out.
And the Broncos go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points.
Point after here coming up. And it's good to make it 14-0. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone.
And he's going to be out of bounds here as the run back will leave him shy of the 20-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
On play action, McCarthy. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield.
And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
Trying to get something positive to happen here before the break, and they sure need it. They went for the big one, but it winds up incomplete.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
Here's McCarthy. That is caught. And shedding the tackle, and now some room.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Sticking with the pass. Here's McCarthy. That's down the field for Jefferson.
And it'll be intercepted.
Trent McDuffie with a pick. And the Broncos are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Boy, the coverage there airtight as he comes away with the interception.
Love that observation there because they were taking a shot at the end zone, but you're right about the coverage. Absolutely tremendous. And this they could clip for a training tape. Staying with him down the field, locates the football in the air, and comes away with the interception.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
And with a 14-0 lead, they may just try to get this to the locker room.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw at all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defense a credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Here we go.
Now it's Nix.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after the last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
Operating from the gun, here's Nix. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
And they'll let this one go right on the outskirts of the 10. They'll down it at the 11-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And we will not see a return of the dynamic kickoff. And the first drive of the second half will commence from the 30-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Here's McLaughlin. And he works free. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Let's go.
They'll run. It's McLaughlin. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 7 yards there and a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
They'll go play action with Nix. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And the Broncos are going to have a first and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense could get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a first and goal.
McLaughlin fighting, but he won't get too far. Maybe a yard, that's all, down to the 2. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be second and goal.
Good work there, holding them out on first down. And this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
Again, it's McLaughlin. But he will lose yardage here. Back to the 4-yard line. A big play if you think about it right now in this season opener. It's third and goal. They'll try and throw. Here's Nix.
And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7.
Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
To the air with McCarthy.
His throw incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
At this point in the game and the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw.
Pass complete to Addison.
And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down.
They'll indeed go. Here's McCarthy.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Broncos will take over on downs. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material.
Working out of the gun is Nix. He'll air this one out for Mims. Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
And in an afternoon where just about everything's gone right, there's an unlikely sight there. He's got a receiver all alone downfield, and he just overshoots him.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Viking 18, Warrior 70.
To throw, here's Nix. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Byron Murphy.
So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, 3rd quarter, but that, not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now, if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here.
Check. Go street.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson.
And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
Now a design run with Jefferson.
I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. Now a timeout called for by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
Three tight ends up front here, 3rd and goal.
tight. 19 tight.
Looking to throw McCarthy.
And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Now a timeout called for by the offense. And that's going to leave him with just one timeout remaining still in the third quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll be back. And his kick is good.
So kind of disappointing there. I mean, yes, they get the 3, but with starting field position like that, 3's not what you're banking on.
No, and you just have to wonder if you can afford to let chances like that continue to pass you by. You've got to find ways to get the ball into the end zone and put 6s on the scoreboard.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away.
And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. So now, Charles, this drive, maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through that.
It's caught inside the 25. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A huge play there for Denver. And even 50 yards.
Boy, this has just been an offensive clinic. It's seemingly been one big play after another, and add this one on to the list. When you can bite off more than half the field on one play, things are definitely working in your favor.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Well, some good games around the league here early in week 1, and this one's shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on a 1st and 10. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
54 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
Nix from the shotgun.
Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great effort there. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend.
And the Broncos are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead now up to 14. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And they're going to have good starting field position. He's out of bounds, but not before he's across the 35. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it. And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they get him down about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 3rd down pickup of 5.
Going for it. Here's McCarthy.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Vikings unable to convert here on fourth. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position.
Nix to the air.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Now a 2nd and 10. A carry from McLaughlin.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
And this is the worry, because sometimes you can get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up, and you're staring at an important 3rd down.
Here we go, here we go.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Nix.
Over the middle, complete. That's McLaughlin.
And he will have a Broncos 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Man open, he's got it complete to Courtland Sutton. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him.
22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down. Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air and defensively. They were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
Ready.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Courtland Sutton from 13 yards out.
And the Broncos are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone.
And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance, to be frank, not to be proud of here as they trail big in this 4th quarter.
36 yards on the play. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
Let's go. 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. 19 Tiger, 19 Tiger.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Completes this to Addison out left.
And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. A big play there on the catch and run. 35 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5.
A give to Gibson running right.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7.
So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
Now McCarthy.
To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
So an incomplete pass a moment ago, and that leads to 2nd and goal.
To the air again, McCarthy.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to have it here just past the 25.
For this defense, CD, that's kind of the icing on the cake here as we get to the end of this one.
And didn't you feel that they weren't just going into total prevent there? You know, they had the lead, and sometimes you fall back and you lose your aggressiveness. Not in this case. They were still making a play on the football, and look how that one turned out. They may have salted this one away.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
And this is really the start to the season that you're hoping for if you're a coach or a player. They've got the big lead here in the 4th quarter, and now can really take some time off the clock.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Now it looks like he'll throw here.
That's to Naylor once again.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete. Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference to see what he has to say.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Vikings are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. So the deep ball giveth, and now the deep ball taketh away.
Man, you're getting deep on me here. I like that. Going to the next level in what you're thinking. And when you think about all the success he's had throwing the football so far, sometimes when you're doing that, you think you're invincible out there. But he was given a cold dose of reality on that throw.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook you haven't called in a while, or you call it a day?
You can do that, or you pick something that's a staple for you and should work better and try and execute that on the way out the door and maybe get back to base and feel a little bit better as you end a ball game that's been a frustrating one for you.
Yeah, we'll see if they go back to base.
McCarthy operating from the gun.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, these guys are not going to go out with their tails between their legs. They're going to keep taking their shots until the clock's at 000. But that one, like a lot of others, winds up incomplete.
3rd down from the gun, McCarthy.
He's going to let it fly.
And that is going to officially draw the curtain on this one as the last throw intercepted. Trent McDuffie with a pick. And the Broncos come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. Well, CD, always a little extra excitement for Week 1, and one of our early window games here in Week 1 on a Sunday comes to a close. Good to be back in the booth with you, my friend.
And it's good to be back in the booth with you as well. And we know that not everyone's going to start the season 1-0, right? Half the league is going to have a loss on their record. But everyone's going to have to build off of that opener. And how many coaches tell us every single year, you make your most progress between week 1 and week 2. We'll see how both of these teams progress the rest of this season.
So for the Broncos, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they go down to defeat here in